It's the 24th of February, 2023. Please remember that everything is for entertainment purposes only. The full disclaimer is down in the box. If you want to get in touch with me for a reading, please email. I get back to people within 24 hours. The live stream where people can come on board and ask questions will be tomorrow, Saturday, the 25th at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is 7 p.m. UK time, Greenwich Mean Time, London time. I have put in a tip jar. I'm going to call it my yarn fund fiber fund, because I love to knit and crochet, and when I have a spare moment or when I'm watching somebody else's videos, live streams, I do pick up my knitting and crocheting. And here, where is it? It's, okay, come on. Don't get caught on things. This is the current blankie I'm working on now. It's almost finished. So the Venmo account to send for my fiber fund is down below also. Thank you. The other day, it was just rotten. It was pelting ice pellets. So, and I will admit, yesterday, I said the heck with things, and I went back to bed at 10 o'clock in the morning and got up mid-afternoon, did some more stuff, and now I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I do have my set of channels that I watch for news and events happening around the world. So when I watch those, I pick up a lot of stuff. I'll start hearing what the commentators are saying, the presenters, and then I'll hear something else saying, "Nuh-uh, that's not right." So that's kind of how I do things in the morning. Plus, people call up or they send me questions, and I'll do some focus on that. So lately, people have been making comments about things, and I'm like, yes, this political correct wokeness in the country, I'd say globally, it's now getting out of control, and people are starting to wake up to that, especially when they are seeing stuff that's happening with the children. I'm sorry, but a grade schooler who's in the single digits, half of them don't even know how to wipe their butt correctly after going potty. So how can they make a decision if they're a girl or a boy? And some of these teachers are just like cramming this nonsense down their throats. Well, people are going to get into, people are sick and tired of it, and you're going to see some very interesting people now running for the school boards. Parents who never thought they would have to are now saying, no more. We're getting on the board, and we're going to bring back the basics in education. The children need to learn how to read, write correctly. They need to know basic mathematics, how to add, subtract, multiply, divide. Ask a kid to do a simple 9 times 7 without a calculator. They can't do it. Ask them to write a paragraph with a pen and a piece of paper. Kids can't do it. They depend on spell check and that other program that fixes grammar mistakes. Kids don't know the difference between a colon and a semicolon. They need to learn how to diagram a sentence. So there's going to be a major, major pushback for basic education to be brought back into the schools. And the other one, people are saying, hey, what about that Georgia thing? And I'm like, okay, that 30-something grand jury foreman? I'm like, if that was my case, I'd be like, excuse me, she's talking out of turn. So everything, because she's gone on the media blitz, basically everything that was done in that grand jury needs to be thrown out because she's released too much. And every time I see her on something, I just bust a gut laughing because, hey, laughter is actually the best way to fight against these idiots. They don't have any common sense. And if we just start laughing in their faces, they don't know what to do. They have no sense of humor. They can't handle being laughed at because you're hurting their feelings. And I guess their feelings matter more than the facts and the truth. I'm like, sorry, dudes. Wake up, smell the coffee, and not Starbucks. I did look at my calendar today and I saw some cool stuff. I want to say happy birthday to Catherine, the Duchess of Kent. She's 90, and now she is the oldest member of the British royal family who is still, she has retired from active service, but she still is teaching music on the private side. That was her dream. She's a very well-known musician, and that's what her goal was. But she got sidetracked. She met a guy and became the Duchess. And I mean, it's like someone could take an example out of her book. And when she retired from public service, she went back to teaching music privately. So to be one of those kids to learn piano from her, I hope they realize what a joy and jewel that they have in the palm of their hand. I'm going on, and I was getting the feeling that we need to start watching what's going on with the Snowden kids. I mean, David Armstrong Jones and Lady Sarah Armstrong Jones Chatto, they're Margaret's kids. So they are close enough to know everything that's going on. They're the real first cousins of Charles, not what anybody else says. They're actual cousins. And they're close enough to know everything that's going on, far enough away that they can speak the truth and put somebody in their place without repercussions going back onto the nuclear family circle. Oops. Sorry. Okay. Phone goes off. I'll get back to that person later. The other thing, it's like I keep hearing, save the children, save the children. I'm like, is that Princess Royal? So keep your eyes on Anne, the Princess Royal. Something's going to happen big with her. She's no nonsense, common sense. And people are going to realize that she's going to call out some of these woke idiots and really, really put them in their place. And it's not going to be pretty. They're going to be crawling and crying. Again, hurt feelings. Well, fact and reality trumps your hurt feelings. And I did come across something today, and I was just like, oh my gosh. This is a guy that I wish he was around a couple of years ago. And now he's working on a program and working with a group that I'm going to investigate. And he's all over social media right now because this gentleman, I believe his name is Frank Rodriguez. He does reveal his personal sexual preference, which what goes on in somebody's bedroom is none of my business. And according to new laws, you're now going to have to state that in order to get a job. Well, this guy is now publicly calling out the little wokies. And the wokey little multicolored flag is more bad than good. And the group that he is now affiliated with is Gays Against Groomers. Currently, I'm getting the feeling that nearly every single teacher in the United States needs to be pulled out because they are aiding groomers so they can take control of the children. The schools, the people in the education system are playing up that in loco parentis law. And parents need to be careful because they could have their children literally taken away because a parents' politics and choices don't agree with the education system that their children are forced to attend. I keep seeing there's going to be a whole new set of alternative schools that are being set up where the teachers are not woke and they're going back to basic education skills that the kids are lacking in. And parents, yeah, I mean, oh my God, okay. Somebody just popped in my brain and says Rose Wilder Lane. People don't many people in my generation and a few years younger are familiar with the TV show Little House on the Prairie with Melissa Gilbert and Michael Landon. Well, that was based on a whole series of books. The named author is Laura Ingalls Wilder, but it's now being revealed that her daughter, Rose Wilder Lane, played a significant role in the editing and publication of those books. Have your kids start reading them. Rose Wilder Lane was one of the initial founders of the libertarian movement, Libertarian Party. You want your kids to be able to think for themselves and recognize the faults in the world. Pull out the books that the woke generation are now trying to censor and rewrite. Go through the thrift stores. Find the original editions. Even Queen Camilla is standing up and fighting against the bastardization of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Everyone needs to stand up because they're rewriting what is being taught to our children. We've got to save the children. We've got to start fighting back. A lot of things I'm seeing, everyone is like marking the anniversary of the situation with the blue and yellow flag country. Well, yeah, that was the start of JoJo and the sweatshirt guy trying to take over the world and enforce this globalist crap down our throats. There's going to be a major revolt soon. I'm saying it's going to kick off like after the coronation. People are going to start fighting back big time. And it's not going to be pretty. Things are going to be brought out. A lot of things will be uncovered, and people are going to start hearing the truth. And people like JoJo and that Z guy, they're not going to know what to do. And right now, if something happens to JoJo, we know that the laughing hyena woman, she isn't capable of running this country. So it may bounce down to our Speaker of the House, McCarthy. And we may end up with another situation like the Ford and Rockefeller administration back in the 70s. That was the first time we had an unelected president and vice president. Go back and look at the history. I keep getting history, and then while I was getting glued together this morning, it's like, yeah, I had my music playing. I'm like hearing stuff, and I'm just like, okay. And one song clicked in, and I'm like, oh shit, Rachel. Rachel is, I'm surprised that they have any plates and glassware left in their house, because there's going to be another thing that's going to be published that she's going to go off the rails about, because here she thinks she's Miss Great Wonderful. I'm the Duchess of Sussex. And she's not included in the roll call of royal women. Everybody laughs at her. They're like, she's not there. And now with the fiasco and the gossip flying about her and the guy whose family owns the stock photo image company, she's finally waking up and realizing that she's no longer that little gorgeous young ingenue. Her truth is coming out, and it's not pretty. People realize she's no longer the young 20, 30 something. She's 40 something. And she's no longer really viable for anybody. And who really wants to pick up the throwaway trash garbage from a British royal family? She's starting to realize that she's messed up. And now she's clutching at straws because she doesn't know what to do. She's looking at the money situation, realizes that she's blown through it. There isn't enough money to support her in the lifestyle that she wanted. Yes, she's going to try and claim some cash to leave Henry, but people are going to have to put her on a tight budget and say, this is your allowance, this is what you get, and that's it, because she's not going to be able to find work elsewhere. She's persona non grata in nearly every industry. And even the governor of California realizes that she's a liability. She may be campaigning for those vacant congressional Senate seats. She wants the appointment because then she'll also receive a pension and medical care for the rest of her life, even if she serves half a term. No, honey, it's not happening. They've already had recall elections on the governor of California, and they may recall you too if you even get in. It's not good. Plus, you won't be able to use your Duchess title. You will have to toss it away. The other thing that I got today, I did hear the voices. Well, yeah, I was hearing the voices of Bessie Wallace and David/Edward 8. And they're saying, watch Andrew. Watch Andrew. His star is on the rise. Yeah, he did that payout to that liar in order to in order not to overshadow his mother's jubilee. But now that it's over, and especially once his brother is crowned, everything's going to come out, and Andrew's star will really rise back. He'll wait till after the coronation and then go after the cleaning up his image. It will be cleaned, and he his star will be back on the rise. And like I keep getting, he's still working for the other agency, and he may not be Mr. Front and Center for things, but he will be back. His HRH has never been taken away. He always will be, and he will be assisting his family in international situations. So that's what I've got for you today. To remember tomorrow, Saturday the 25th, will be the live stream at 1 o'clock. I do have it set up. People can come on and ask questions. And I'll be really honest, it's easier for me to pick up an answer if I'm actually speaking to you or if I can see you. Just typing into the chat, that's a little bit tough, but if I can actually hear your voice, and so I get a more accurate clairvoyant, clairaudient impression on what's going to happen for you. So hope everyone has a good Friday. Shabbat shalom to a lot of people, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great one. Bye.